Well, there has been an interesting study that has been made by the Bank for International Settlements in its annual report, saying that there could be a bubble not only in the Thai stock market but also the rest of the world. To talk about this is Kun Nopakun Nimsamanpan, the editor of the Now 26 and Nation Group. Sawasdee ka.
Sawasdee ka.
We are going to be speaking to a special guest today. I believe they are on the phone with us here, and that is Kun Pattira Dilokrung Thirapop, the CEO of DBS Vickers Securities. Sawasdee ka.
Sawasdee krab.
Sawasdee ka.
How has the Thai stock market been so far?
So far this year, I think the stock was up about 10%, which is not bad considering what happened. I think we have made up some of the ground during the past month when the situation, especially on the political front, become a bit more clear. So I think overall we are not doing too bad, and the stock market right now is trading at about the target that most brokers talk about 1,450.
Do international investors gain more confidence in Thailand after the National Council for Peace and Order announced the timeline for general election sometime in late 2015?
Not quite, actually. If you're looking at the percentage trading volume by the foreigners, it's actually dropped toward the 20%, whereas it used to be almost 30%. So I think they have not left the market, but the confidence is not there 100%. Local investor has demonstrated much more confidence. Both the local institution and the retail investor has actually traded quite a lot, and that's pushed up the trading volume. But that reflects the fact that they probably understand the market a lot better than the foreign institution, which I think will take a bit of time.
Has there been an impact from the recent downgrades from the United States and the European Union?
Not directly to the stock market. I think that can be an issue, but not directly, because at the moment a lot of funds are able to invest freely in the stock market, especially those hedge funds and those are program trading. So they still continue to invest, but not in a big way. In terms of listed company, I think some export company may be impacted, and some business maybe took a wait and see stance. But I think at the end, we would just have to build the confidence by disclosing more information, and just have to tell investors that we are actually moving toward democracy at the end.
Okay, well, let's take a look at the latest annual report from the Bank for International Settlements. They have said that financial markets are, quote, euphoric right now. There could be an assets bubble. Do you think that there is one?
If the possibility happened last year when a lot of countries such as US and Europe are injecting a lot of liquidity into the system, and that means there's a lot of money everywhere globally. And in Thailand, we also experienced that. In the first half of last year, especially, we saw the stock market went up very high, actually make a 20-year record, and the bond market also see a lot of volume there. But it also went away very quickly, and also because of our political problems have pushed up the volume even faster. So we have seen a lot of this hot money left the country in case of Thailand. But for other countries globally, some of them are still using this strategy because some countries still have economic problems toward the end of the year and still using the low interest rates as a tool of pump up the economy. So some of these countries are still at risk of having excessive asset price. And I think if the liquidity dry up, then they may face some cost of funds that are more expensive than they used to be.
So U.S. stock continue to be rising even though the real economy is not that good. What is the fundamental reason for that, in your opinion?
For Thailand?
No. Please.
For Thailand, I think we're actually trading on the fundamental at the moment, because since last year, even when we have the political problem, all analysts are setting the target price at 1,450, which is the way it is now. Our problem then is we don't know what our way out before we have the coup. But now the picture is a little bit more clear. However, the market seems to be unable to move from here. and they keep pumping around, moving up and down around at this level. This is because there's no more positive factor to push the market forward again. So we need to see more concrete evidence of the economy picking up or even leveling off, which at the moment people still have concern. Second thing, we still need to have a concrete policy from the Khosrochor on how they want to move the country forward. So I think that's what the market is waiting for.
Okay, well, lastly, let's take a look at the statements coming from BIS, as I just mentioned there, about the global markets. Thailand will have an impact from any changes from global markets. So is there a concern that perhaps these markets are moving out of reality, that they are depending too much on tools that are short-term in terms of stimulating the economy, such as the EU and the recent move from the Bank of England?
Yes, I think directly we will not have impact because we have experienced the outflow already. However, if the global economy are not picking up as everyone expected and actually suffer from some asset price bubbling and causing some slowdown, then Thailand will also impact by this external factor. But directly, I don't think we will be directly impacted by such move.
Okay, well, thank you so much, Kun Patira.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
ค่ะ ขอบคุณค่ะ That is the CEO of DBS Figure Securities saying that, well, pretty much their target for a lot of people, a lot of analysts are that they have hit the 1,450 mark. They're not concerned, but they are concerned about the future, the democracy here in the country.
Say, look at the timeline of General Prayut Chan-o-cha. Last Friday, he announced that this month, tomorrow, starting tomorrow, July, he expect to get a final draft of the provisional constitution of Thailand to be enforced by the end of this month. So July is marked for a temporary charter to govern Thailand. And then next month in August, he expect to start the process of setting up the National Assembly. After May 22nd, we don't have the National Assembly. So we need one in order to start running the country in a more appropriate way. So August is the National Assembly, and then in September, General Prayut expect to announce the formation of a provisional cabinet to run the country. And after that, in October, we might see the setup of the National Reform Council. So there are 4 things: provisional constitution, then the National Assembly, provisional cabinet, and finally the National Reform Council.
There are 2 main concerns that I could think of right now that investors might be concerned about. The first is the timeline.
Yes.
1 year or almost 2 years is quite a long time.
15 months.
It's still quite a long time. 2, also reforms on the energy, on the various sectors. There are concerns. We've already seen some opposition to some of these reforms being taken place with the state enterprises. Is this going to be a challenge?
Yeah, on the timeline first, last Friday I got a chance to talk to some of the senior most generals working for General Prayut. I asked him about this international concern about the timeline.
Yes.
So altogether, will be 15 months. And I think everyone, not only Thai people, but the international community will take the timeline announced by the NCPO very seriously. So I don't think the military will have any incentive to prolong the governing of Thailand under the military rule.
What about the various changes in the state of enterprises and energy reforms?
So there are going to be 11 areas for national reform. For example, the anti-corruption program, how the election or the political parties will be organized, this and that, including national energy reform, education reform. Many reforms are in the plan of the NCPO. So many of them will be very challenging and uphill tasks. We are not sure whether the NCPO will be able to achieve all of them, but we hope at least they will do a few 1 or 2 or 3 big things.
Okay, hopefully we'll have to see how that situation will begin. This is a Monday, Gunopakun, so we'll
Yes.
have to see how the situation will be for this week, or what the highlights will be for the various meetings actually today that is taking place with the Election Commission. And that's the English news for this hour. You can always stay tuned for more. Follow my Twitter at @chao._now26 for any reruns of this segment. Up next is the Thai news.